Oh god! Hello, back we are. I just found somebody. He's not all too pleasant of a guest. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode of Scrap Mechanic with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to our base. Now, we have, in the last episode, actually taken care of clearing out a lot of this forest in hopes of actually placing a house there. And, Bastard Cube has actually kind of come back to one of my episodes saying that the only way to remove all the foliage here, basically, is to remove it from the code of the game. So, as to not have any of this foliage at all anymore, basically. At least the one that you cannot, remove with, like, hammers or saw blades and stuff. The trees, I suppose, would stay. But, in general, the plan of, like, placing a house here has kind of moved a bit further into the, distant future, if not ever. So that's a bit of an issue, but do not despair, because I have got a plan B. I've actually found a very nice spot, and I hope that that one is going to work out for us in the end. So we'll check that out in a second, but just quickly, before we get started on this very episode, if you're new around here, if you happen to enjoy this episode, please make sure to smash that subscribe button right down below. That does always help out the channel a ton. We're currently trying to hit 1k subscribers, and there's still a good bunch of people to go, so every single one is highly appreciated. With that out of the way, though, we need our logger. And Spasticube's also told me about another intricacy of probably whenever I try and actually put a lift on this thing, due to the way that I've welded this up, the lift is probably going to go on this side of the vehicle now, instead of the underside, as would be the usual norm, I guess. So, oh god, that was a mistake. Without further ado, let's go pick this thing up and put it like here for the time being. And you can see that that is actually the case. So, let us go and quickly try and fix this. We will have to remember not to do this again in the future, because, you know, all these vehicles have been very conveniently welded up in all the weird spots, so that'll be a lot of fixing for me to do there eventually. But what we'll have to do now is we will have to basically weld this up in the correct position again, which, well, given that, is not going to be the easiest thing in the world, and also going to need a lift in doing so, which is probably going to have to stand about 2 bajillion meters away. Then we go and, well, I mean, evidently this is lagging because this thing's literally glitching into the ground. In the meanwhile, we go over here, and we're out of range. Well, this is a bad combination. The vehicle is so big, I can't really go any closer without hitting, well, without, like, kind of being in the way of placing the vehicle properly. On the other hand side, I need to be closer. So this is going to be interesting. Accidentally forgot to click weld on this previously, and yeah, I don't know. I have to say, fixing this, I think, is going to be very annoying. So, word of advice, don't do what I did, basically. How in the world do we do this now? Maybe if I just remove, like, another block or two, that's going to make things easier for us. Oh, God. Oh, wow, that thing is wildly breaking apart. Yeah, so now it will work, but, like, I'm in the way. And at some point, I won't see this hitbox anymore. I can put it down the right way. Oh, God. Oh, this is absolutely terrible. That thing is so breaking apart right now. I hope it's not just going to explode or flick away into the atmosphere in a second. I'm really worried about the way that that looks right now, I have to say. Oh, no, there it was. Still not possible, eh? Is that due to that thing being in the way, maybe? Let me go and place that a bit further away. At least gives that glitch another chance at resetting a bit, maybe, right? Then we place this here again. God, I just want to knock down some trees, and we are spending absolute ages trying to fix this very thing. There's a side. No! That was evidently not close enough. We'll try that again. Real big word of advice. Don't ever do what I did there. That is just... This is just absolutely going terribly. And I apparently also didn't quite click this at the right location. Which makes sense. Oh. I think I kind of know how I may be able to do this in a way that I can be rather close to where I weld from without being like in the way of the actual vehicle. Yeah, so something like this, I guess, would work. I just have to click things from the right position because I want to weld something like here, I guess. And then if we go there and do this like that. Yes, so this works. It still works, but I'm like, it's red. Not sure what I'm in the way of here. Oh, there we go. Please. Yes, no. Let me turn down the DPI of my mouse all the way. There's a very narrow spot to hit. There we go. Oh, God, that was a struggle. Thank God for DPI settings on mice. Uh-oh. I just got stuck under my own vehicle. Must have not been feeling great. There we go. So we can finally use this thing again. And I'm going to drive over to what's probably the new position with you all. And we're just going to quickly check things out. Because I think there's like another 2 or 3 trees that we need to take care of there. And I do already have an idea and like a little bit of a concept of what I would want to maybe go for in terms of a house design over there. Now, I mean, potentially we could fit in a house right here as well, I guess. And that would be a bit closer to the farm, so that's an alternative solution, right? But I want to show you kind of what I think the main plan is right now. I'm not sure we'll carry it through like that, but I guess moving the farm wouldn't be mega terrible. The things that we want right now, I guess, are going to be flat ground, because what I was told by Spastic Cube is that we ideally would want to pull bricks all the way through in order to avoid bots being able to spawn. And, well, as little foliage as possible. So you see the spot right here, right? The idea that I got from this was to have a little bit of a atrium in here, like Roman and Greek style houses have, right? With like a little bit of nature in the middle and like this tree standing in the middle of things. Then having the house actually go around the outside with a beautiful view on this lake right here. And these 2 bushes kind of being like in the entrance way of the house and having a little path down here and stuff. So that's being like the preferred option right now. One thing I do think we need to check though is if this is level ground. Or if this is just going to start floating in the air the closer we get, basically, to the corner of things. Feels quite level to me, to be honest. So this would be an option. I have to say I quite like it. I mean, this we can't get rid of, unfortunately. So we could just integrate it into the house, and otherwise the space is quite open and empty. Now, the one thing that I am a bit concerned about is I think when you get waves, bots can technically also spawn in the water and come your way. So that is a little bit of an area of concern, I guess. And the question maybe also being, do we want to have the farm next to the house in general? I'm not too sure. The thing is also that I'm not sure of, like, in general, bots spawning, even if they spawn, like, remotely close to the house. I guess they would get triggered by it and start, hitting away at it. So that is another area of concern. Oh, I don't quite know. I do really not quite know where we want to do this thing now. But one way or another, I think what I have decided on is that we will definitely do this sort of design with like having a tree in the middle somewhere that we integrate, because I think wherever we go, we can't really get rid of the foliage. And then on top of that, I also already have an idea of how the house is going to look. So we're going to go and... Oh god, no, wait! Close! Woo! That was close. That was really close. So we're probably also going to go and have a quick look at that in a second, because I do have a bit of an idea of how we're going to do that. Well, damn. We have an issue at our hands here. A very big one as well, may I say. I forgot a collector! Oh no! This is gonna be a bit of a throwback. I hope that tree stays somewhat upright in there. You can see it seems to be. But I guess we're going to get the mining vehicle real quick, drive over with that, because that has a resource collector. It's going to be way quicker than just carrying one over, given the slow pace at which you would otherwise be walking. But I do have a bit of a concept going of how I wanted to look. I know I said originally that it would only be wood, or like mainly be wood, right? And that's what we're going to use all these trees for. And there is still going to be a good bit of wood in the build. I think mainly we're going to use wood in like the roof of the building, maybe in like window sills and doors and stuff like that. Where we're not going to use wood is the walls, because I do have an alternate idea, kind of connecting also to that part with like the Greek-Roman style house. That idea being bricks. I've actually found bricks in the constructor, and they do look quite good, I have to say. And the best part about it is that we get to use all our scrap stone, because well, they only take scrap stone. They don't take any chemicals, no nothing. It's literally just scrap stone. So I thought that was quite nice. It's on the one hand side quite cheap, on the other hand side it looks quite nicely. So very, very promising, that one. And I think it will be a combination of these bricks and then the wood on like roof and other stuff, and probably a good bit of coloring in between as well. We'll have to see about that. If you have like coloring proposals or general proposals to the house build, I suppose feel free to leave them down below in the comments. I would absolutely appreciate that. Now, I've got to knock down these trees one way or another. I'm just going to get rid of them. I'm not entirely sure yet we'll be starting out here. But I think I want to at least finish off the preparations. But, you know, honestly, we have been knocking down about 3 bajillion trees those last few days. So I won't be keeping you all around for that. I'll just do these things myself real quick. And then I'll be back when we get some stuff prepared for the house build, because there is certainly quite a bit of work to do in that regard as well. Alright everyone, so back we are, as you can see, bringing back the mining vehicle as well now, with like one of the last things on there. I do have to say, for like sitting on this thing, I had kind of forgotten just how well vehicles could actually drive in this game when comparing it to this one right here. So I think I do have a bit of a thing on my agenda that we're probably even going to take care of before we look at the materials for the house now, because what I think we're going to tackle real quick is that thing on the back right there. I am honestly not even using the extension possibility anymore at all for any single time, really, that I knock down a tree. It's beautifully working entirely without the possibility to extend that weight. Well, apparently we slap more than enough scrap stone on there to not have to rely on that extension possibility anymore. So I think we're going to get rid of it. Honestly, it's causing so much lag for starters, with like the entire grid of the weight just glitching into the floor. I don't know, I really don't like it that much that that's happening. Gotta say, I mean, it's kind of a bit sad, because we have, of course, put in a bit of effort also into this mechanism, and that there was like some purpose behind it. But like, if we look at the underside, I mean, the only real alternative would be to pull this entire underside here apart, which is like an option, I guess, but yeah, like we would have to literally remove all this. Is that already enough, maybe? Could be. Feels a lot smoother to me, most certainly. But I guess when we want to pull this thing back on, it's not going to work. Interesting one. So maybe if we just remove something in the middle here, we can already make this work? It's just the last try, right? I mean, it's really not necessary on it anymore, admittedly, honestly. But, we can at least try, you know, to find some ways to make this work. There goes the lag again. Can you feel it? Can you feel the lag? Coming in the air tonight, I guess. Yeah. It's just like... It's terrible. And, the thing is that, like, extending this outwards with not having a floor and the floor only starting after this part here, this would instantly make things collide and break them as well, I think. We can give it one try, because I don't know, this kind of whole construct has sort of been a bit my baby, and I do kind of want it to work, but overall, you know, I'm not too optimistic about that part right now, I guess. So, let's fill that one in. Woo! Interesting that we're having lag for a start, to be honest. Does seem to be working. It's certainly not free from lag either. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna either have to scrap the underfloor, which I feel looks terrible, or we just scrap the wait, no. Why is there still something under this? That was not the plan. Let's try and do it the actual way it was planned. But you can see just how much this sags, right? This is not going to even be pushable over that. Now the lag is gone again, it seems. But if I click this button, oh, it works. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, wow. Wait, oh, no! I'm stuck in the ground now. Oh, no! Why, that is an issue. Luckily, we do have lifts in this game. I mean, that issue would be mitigatable by doing this again, right? Woo. Oh, God. And then it somehow lags. I don't know, like this... It feels like we're never... Well, no, now it seems to work. Not stuck in the ground. And there's no... Is there no lag anymore? It's a bit of lag, isn't there? It's like a bit more bearable than previously, but honestly... I think we don't need this possibility anymore, so let's just undo this mechanism. It's unfortunate, but I guess that's going to be the way that we have to go here. I would have loved to keep things like that, but I guess not. So we're literally going to have to remove this all. Kind of fill it in again real quick. And then we go from there. Now, what we do before this, maybe, is the bricks. We are going to take care of actually making the bricks. We're going to need a huge ton of them for the house. I'm not even sure we even have anywhere remotely enough. But we will definitely be throwing some scrap stone at this. And... Ah, right. No space. I was really worried there for a second that it was maybe not scrap stone. But yeah, so we'll be throwing some scrap stone at this. And then there's going to be a whole lot of brick blocks made. The coloring and everything we'll take care of at a later point, I guess. And then we'll go from there. But for this now, let me go and swap these here out. We will go and take this thing apart. So, all this will go. All of that will go. I'm not sure. That did not remove the piston, which we take now. I mean, the piston, you know, is quite valuable. I'm sure we will find some very good use for it. So we can reuse that at a later point. And then we continue by going and taking out even more. Now, the one thing... Oh, I guess we don't have enough space. The one thing that I am a bit worried about, maybe, is that if we do remove this thing, I'm a bit concerned that we may end up in a space where the one, like in terms of like the vehicle logic, right? The number 1 is going to be empty. We're gonna have to see if we can reassign that somehow. Maybe I've never really changed these numbers because it's basically kind of just been whatever I assign first kind of comes my way, right? So that's going to be the number 1, and then we just go from there. I'm not sure how that's going to work now. We will have to see on that. But let me go. I finished this thing off for now. Oopsies. And then we go from there. There was apparently a hole in there. So this we will fill in again. At the very least, we will have a floor to this thing once more. Ah, I thought there was an issue here. We just don't have enough blocks. Well, that is a bit of an issue, I guess. And maybe we just kind of streamline that a bit more. We can sort of partially fill these in now. This is the one block that I put into here where the piston was, isn't it? Where do we remove that one instead? Could honestly just remove it here. Nobody's going to ever see it. Except everyone watching this video, of course. They could just kind of start the weight right there, I suppose. So, gonna build things like they used to be, just in like a fixed manner on the actual platform that we built out here for the weight. Just kind of gonna go from there now. Apparently, no. Got a good bunch of scrap stone still, but I do have a feeling that we may be running out here in a bit. Let's see, I guess. We'll go and fill this all in a bit. And we'll already be out of scrapstone. We'll grab a tad bit more in a second. Let me go and fill this thing in. Oh, fill it in. Not taking another one out before we forget. And then we'll go get one more stack of scrapstone. Then we have got that out of the way as well. I do have to say now, in terms of the house, I am really not entirely sure. We've got a schema going at the very least, right? So, definitely make sure to let me know what you think of the, like, atrium kind of style with, like, a bit of a, well, Roman Greek style house. I'm not entirely sure about the location now. I kind of came to think back and forth, so I may just, well, this thing is finished off, more or less. We do have it sagging a bit forward still, so we could, if we really wanted to, just expand that out a bit, I guess. Make things even a bit heavier at the back. I mean, geez, that thing is not even balanced yet, is it? We'll go and balance that a tad bit. I'm gonna finish this off, and I think I'm just gonna place a quick cut to take a quick breather and maybe determine where we do want to build the house, because I think I want to at least make a decision with you all today, and I want to get something started so that we're not permanently just going back and forth in the same spot, if that makes sense. So, let me do some quick thinking about that, and I'll be right back with you. Oh god! Hello! Back we are! I, just found somebody. He's not all too pleasant of a guest. Oh my god, there's another one. We will have to evict these guests from our home real quick, as we have not invited them in. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, I was gonna get you guys back in anyways, but I just, was making some bricks, nice and peacefully, and I got jumped by these guys on the way out. Absolutely unacceptable. Very, very unacceptable, and very, uninvited guests right there. Surprise party, I guess. But, first things first, I just wanted to show you this. No more lag. We've finally done it, everyone. I'm so happy about that. It's absolutely great. Really loving it. I hope you are as well. The one thing that I'm noticing, honestly, if you can see there, I think the back suspension is still too, soft. We need to stiffen that up a bit. Maybe through some component kits, unless there's, like, some levels that we haven't put in yet. No, as you can see, we would actually have them. There we go. Let's go and do that right now. I think the rocking is like not all too useful for us in the end, so that way, see how much smoother that acceleration is. Beautiful. So, yeah, that thing's good to go. Absolutely happy with it. But I have, in the meanwhile, also sort of somewhat made a bit of a determination in terms of where I want to go and put our home. And I can tell you as much, it's not here. Now, I think this would be probably the rational place to build, because it's closer to the mechanic workshop. We wouldn't have to move much of anywhere. The farm's already there. It's going to be the easier place, right? But I have to say, I sort of want to make the emotional decision to build here, because I've got some stuff in mind for this place, and it's a beautiful place, and there are some great views right here. So, oh hi buddy, I think that's the reason that we're going to be building here, and I wanted to at least go and lay out the groundwork with you guys for this. Now, please, feel free to let me know in the comments which of these spaces you prefer. Worst case, you know, we can change something about this next episode if you're telling me, you know, don't go for the space whatsoever. It's a terrible idea for this and that reason. Please let me know down below, and, you know, we'll I don't know, think about changing it, I guess. But for the time being, I think the call is made that we will be doing things here. I will be removing all this, because we are going to make the floor beautifully out of these puppies right here. And, yeah, we're kind of going to go from there. So, going to just lay out a bit of the foundation brickwork here. The question is, right, please let me know about this, maybe Spastic Cube. You're the one who let me know how to get rid of the bot spawning. I guess I need to kind of just, like, do something a little like this in terms of the bricks, right? So that there's no grass there anymore where the tree used to be. I'm not sure. This, please let me know down below in the comments. I would absolutely appreciate it. I think, well, I mean, you know, ideally I'd do something a little like this, but if it would kind of allow bots to spawn in my base once more, I'm not going to do that. The question, of course, also being, do I actually have to leave bricks everywhere, or is it sufficient if I just place bricks and then remove bricks, because that does evidently not remove the grass. I thought it did, because a second ago it didn't actually respawn when I removed things, but evidently it does. So, yeah, please let me know. Would appreciate the feedback. I mean, I don't see any grass in there at the very least, but I do feel that this is going to be a bit of a danger, so probably we're going to end up having to place bricks there too. But let's see what Spastic Cube has to say about that. Now, on all the other things, you know, this is going to be a bit of a, like, idea of where the atrium is going to be. We are going to be coloring these things as well, as I previously said. That's something that we'll do after the fact. I do have to say, I do not even remember how this thing works. Oh, so this is the way. Okay, that should be nice and easy. But yeah, so brick coloring and everything will come after the fact, and we'll have some nuances there, and we'll have like some roof coloring and everything. But we'll build basically like an atrium around this, more or less. Then we'll have like the walls with the house kind of going around the outside. We're gonna have some beautiful views. We're gonna make it at least 2 stories, I think. And well, we're going to have a bit of a garden, like a bit of a path leading to the house, and then probably we will need to build some sort of wall around as well to more or less hopefully safeguard us against bots. And then we'll have to also imagine the fence system, because I can imagine that there will be quite a bit of troubles here. I am also looking to kind of at least keep the farm close to the house, so it's at least in a line of sight from my point of view. I see if there's any stuff going on, because if I keep it all the way over there and some bot runs at it and destroys it, I'm never going to notice. So that's why we will need to move that. But that's the plan then. Foundation is laid out, plans are laid out for the next episode, and I'm going to make a lot of bricks now in between episodes. I do have the feeling we're not going to have enough scrap stone, so we'll probably need to farm more of that too. For the time being, though, that is it. I hope to see you all in the next episode for even more stuff. If you enjoyed this one, please make sure to hit that like button right down below. That does always help out the channel a ton. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way then, as usual everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next one very, very soon. Ciao.